Hey all, so today I woke up and decided, fuck it, I'm going to do an album review of Trivium's full-length release In the Court of the Dragon, which is out today, actually. So, because I actually didn't realize it was coming up. Like, it literally was released within the last 12 hours. So, but before I gave it a listen, I went on a hunt for the Golden Dragon. So Trivium made a post recently alluding to the fact that there were like several drops globally, drops like Pokemon Go drops, like the AR shit. You look through your phone, it's like Pokemon Go. However, it is a golden dragon. So you find the dragon, you post it on your socials, and you put a hashtag. I didn't do that because I don't want to, but I did go find the dragon. I still don't really understand what the fuck it was about, because I could have sworn that there was meant to be some preview. Maybe it was because I went to find it today as opposed to when they made that post, and today the album's already out, so there's no point of a preview. I don't know. But yeah, I went to the spot, the location where the drop was, and I took these photos of said golden dragon. Especially wanted to go, seeing as they didn't seem to take into account that Melbourne is currently in a lockdown and the majority of people are not going to be able to go to the location. I, however, live relatively close to where it is, so I guess I took one for the Melbourne team. And yeah, so I will show some of the footage and photos that I got. I went to the Trivium Dragon location drop, and all I got were these shitty photos and videos. Anyway, no, it was kind of cool, because it's just this big old dragon in the middle of the city that you see on your phone. Anyway, so a couple of hours ago I got back from doing that and checked out the album, spun it a few times, wrote down a bunch of notes. So let's get into this motherfucking review, because it's a lot of notes. So the first song on the album is called X, and I am a fan. It's a short intro track. It's not particularly metal. It's got chanting and temple vibes and this cool kind of shamanic drumming, and you know I dig drumming. Actually this whole album has really great drumming. I mean, I will bring it up a few times. So yeah, intro, already strong start. It's an instrumental, I think, apart from the chanting. Really cool. Really great setup for the album. The second track is In the Court of the Dragon, so it's the title track. It was decent, begins pretty heavy, sounds like classic Trivium. The vocals in this particular song weren't my favorite, but I did find that even the songs that weren't my favorite from this album ended up kind of growing on me as I listened over and over. But I've always found the vocal work not technically bad, just, okay, that sounds like I think it's bad. It's hit and miss for me. There are just certain vocals that are good. Musically, I just am not super into them. However, the drum lines for this song were really, really good. There's power feels to it. There's kind of a power feel to the whole album. There's a really cool lull around 2 minutes that kind of just perfecto. I kind of got weird Jonathan Young vibes, Corey Taylor vibes, a little tiny bit, reminded me of Bottom a little bit, or something like that. I just couldn't put exactly my finger on what it was. However, third track was Like a Sword Over Damocles. It does say it in the song. I can't remember how it sounds now because I'm stupid. Really fucking good song. I put 100 emoji next to it. That's what I thought about it. It's kind of nu metal-ish, but it's not cringe nu metal. It's got great melodies, well-timed pace changes. The whole album has a few great melodies and has been well-paced, but this song was when I first kind of picked up on that. There's a fucking great guitar solo about 3 minutes in, just so nice. And right after that solo, there's a really impressive instrumental portion. And I really like that they balanced in this album really well, not having too much of any particular thing. I feel like the whole album is really balanced quite well with all the musicians. There's no showboating from one or two members or anything like that. So Feast of Fire came up next. This had weird kind of hard rock feel to it. I don't know if it was just the vocals or what it was, but I still found like the beginning very neck breaker, very DJable. I will almost certainly be playing this song at a club. It brings back the lyrical focus after the last song kind of like shied away from like huge lyrical and vocal focus. But there are still like some mental solos within the song, Feast of Fire, and especially around 2.5 minutes in, which seems to be a theme. 2.5 minutes for this album seems to be where they just kind of like...
What? Dude. God damn.
Yeah. There's a bit of an abrupt finish with Feast of Fire, which I wasn't completely on board with, but yeah, decent song. Then, Crisis of Revelation, it's got a bit of a thrashy start, and then it kind of like goes into this epic kind of power feel, but not like wanky epic power feel, which you can get. It's not their strongest in regard to like a start, but then it kind of like evolves to just get better and better as the song goes on. I wrote down, it's got real shout to the sky from a mountain type vibe. It's got a neck breaker section at about 2.5 minutes, and 3.5 minutes, there's like fucking face melty moment. The second half of the song has got like a fast pace but very coherent quality to it. Sometimes, you know, you get fast pace and it's kind of chaos, which can be really good. This one wasn't like super chaotic, it just like sped up and yeah, just really well made. All of Trivium stuff is like really quite well made, decent production. Yeah, and then the finish goes back to shouty mountain man shit and very beltable, like get drunk with your homies and belt this shit out, I reckon. Next song is The Shadow of the Abattoir. This is kind of like a real fucking roller coaster of a song because it shifts between back and forth, like a slower, more melodic kind of thing, and like a instrumental, almost acoustic, but not acoustic, kind of stripped back thing. And then it goes to like the classic kind of metal feel again, and it goes back and forth between those. It's not jarring though, which I like. Yeah, it starts out kind of softer and then gets like metal and you think, oh yeah, that's just the intro, but no, it kind of goes between them. I can see a lot of people doing maybe a cover of this. There's a couple of songs in there, so I reckon there's going to be a good amount of covers from. I can also see some kind of like anime style Witcher like video montage coming out of this. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you know how people used to make like their own music videos of like shows or movies they liked and like put it to a song they liked? I don't know. I can just definitely see that fucking happening at some point on the YouTube. It just has that vibe about it, kind of. No Way Back, Just Through. It's got like a really nice semi-muted start, which I really dig. It is yet another neck breaker song. A lot of these are neck breakers. Like this one specifically has kind of like a fast style windmill feel kind of vibe to it. Save for at the end where it kind of chills out quite a lot, at least in regard to pace. I can see absolutely mosh pits going heckers for this, like Walls of Death, hair everywhere, whole shebang. Just definitely has the vibe to achieve that. The vocals are relatively simple, however the instrumentals are like fairly heavy and intricate, so it's just, I like that the album balances like focus without being overbearingly focused on any particular thing, but that it does, as I mentioned before, balance that out really quite well. Yeah, definitely another beltable tune, especially with the simple vocals. The next one is Fall Into Your Hands. This is possibly my favorite of the album. It is the longest song as well. It's got incredible cymbal work. The drumline goes really hard. They've got skank beats, they've got blast beats. I'm a big fan of good drumming in songs. It's probably mostly what makes me like songs is often the drum lines. I've mentioned that many times in reviews, at least metal songs and rock songs. There's like a bit at the 3-minute mark where it hits and then Heafy says, as they do, vocalists, and I can just absolutely see circle pits like breaking the fuck loose at a gig. Had this been played live, when this is played live, about halfway through there's a tonal shift that cranks hard. Right after that you got a real tasty bass. Fucking bass line's just beautiful, and then it starts to like slowly build back up real nasty. Like, it's so good. Definitely my favorite song off the album, actually, not possible fave. And then the second half, just has some of the coolest shit I reckon on the album, really. There's a really strong lead out that's almost classical in nature. They do kind of put some symphonic elements throughout this album, not much. So like it's definitely not like one of the main features at all, but it is incorporated and it is awesome. I would probably give an organ to suss this one live. I'm gonna say it's my favorite track off the album. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Next one is From Dawn to Decadence. This is kind of taking it back to basics. It's bouncy, it's dancey, it's got a great melody, it's very, very well balanced. I am a fan of the vocals in this one, especially there's an around 3 minutes, it's beautiful, definitely sing-alongable, and also a song that would go pretty fucking hard live. Next is the last song on the album. It's got a jump around, jump up, and get down start. I can see people doing that shit they do in the pit where they jump up and down. I better see vocal covers coming from this one, I swear to fucking God. It's got some of the best vocal work on the album, in my opinion, just for my preferences with vocals. It's got more great cymbal incorporation. Just there's like this bell action that they got going on. It's real cool, real cool. It's really strong headbang inducing finishing track at about 420 LeMayo. You got stank face moment. There's an emotive tonal change and kind of like a demonstration of the theme of the album, like kind of wrapping it all up together. Just after the 5-minute mark, it's marching, it's dark, it's powerful. There's a shy symphonic element present, but not dumb. It's tough as fuck, but also beautiful as fuck. And it's, like, what I mean by, like, it's demonstrating the theme is that this album kind of has a fantasy theme to it, but it doesn't take it to a cheesy place at all, which is awesome. I don't like cheesy power shit. I don't. And I'm not saying this is a power metal album. It's just, it's got elements that kind of feel like that. They do it well. They do it well. Yeah, so that's all of the songs individually. All up, it's got a bit of a 2000s vibe at the start of the album. Like, the tracks there are a bit 2000s nu metal, hard rock kind of, but they haven't dated themselves the way some bands kind of have, that have like that kind of sound a little bit in there. There's a lot of genre melding, I feel like, in this album. You got thrash kind of there, you got a bit of nu metal in there, a bit of hard rock in there, a bit of alt rock in there, a bit of power in there, kind of epic metal, you know, and they show proficiency with all of the elements within that range that they put forward. There's a bunch of talent presented, sans the wankery that you kind of see with people showboating in their albums, and it's kind of like, okay, can you suck your own dick any harder? As I mentioned before, the 2.5 minute mark seems to be where shit always just goes mental. Solos are off the wall, just tonal changes, all that kind of shit. They've managed to make a relatively lengthy songs, not super lengthy, but you know, there's a few in there around the 7-minute mark that don't get boring in my opinion, which is a feat. Yeah, great fantasy feel. It's really balanced, as I mentioned a few times now, with all the musicians. And yeah, just an all-round decent album. I am trying to be more positive in my reviews, as you might be able to tell. It's a really decent album, and the more I listened to it, the more I liked it. Thumbs up or thumbs down? I'm not going to give it a rating, because definitely over a 5, probably no higher than an 8 or a 9, but thumbs up, for sure, thumbs up. My favorite songs are probably Crisis of Revelation and maybe Like a Sword, Fall Into Your Hands. After several listens, found myself dancing around. The album is a bop, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. I'm fucking fighting the sunset right now. Okay. I'm really glad that after all these years, Trivium have kind of won me over. First with The Sin in the Sentence, and then with this album. I didn't really like them or give them the time of day like a decade ago, because I don't know, didn't like their fans, didn't really like them, and there are still bits of like even this album that I was like, but I'm very hard to please. It's damn near fucking impossible. If you listen to the album, let me know what you thought. As always, opinions differ. You know, if you didn't like the album, that's totally valid. If you did, I'm glad you liked it. You absolutely don't need to be a dick in the comments to me, and especially not to other people. Just, we can discuss music without being cunts, right? And I really appreciate that almost none of you are ever, like, dicks to each other for, you know, something that's completely subjective, which is what music is. Anyway, yeah, like the video if you like the video. Thanks so much for watching. I will link the album in the description, and all of my social media will be in the description as well. Yeah, I'm really glad that I did this little impromptu review. Ciao for now. Hope you guys are doing alright. I sat on my feet again. Hope you guys like my fit. Button up in camo pants. Who would have thunk it? The fit is right. So shiny.
Yes, indeed.
I'm so shiny, dude.